my friends Chris and Benji's behind the camera. This is my policy speech on social media. In a Jason Byers study, Monitoring Social Media and Technology, published by Contemporary School of Psychology, suicide is the second most common cause of death from people ages 10 to 34. While social media does not directly correlate to suicide, the behaviors found on social media can directly relate to these statistics. I have been researching social media on how it can be damaging and the behaviors that you learn that can affect not only yourself but others around you. And today I'd like to discuss problems on overconsumption of social media, offer solutions on how to change behaviors, and tell you how to be more mindful while you're online. So first I'd like to talk with you about the issues. For starters, teens need to be more mindful of social media because of the things that lead to risky behavior that affect not only you but others around you and can cause mental health issues. While not everyone does develop these behaviors, it's much easier when you feel like everyone around you acts like this. In the study Social Media Effects on Teens by Wileen Roletter, published by Research Starters Sociology, the most detrimental of these is cyberbullying. While the ability to be anonymous and be behind a camera is not always bad, it can allow some people to affect others mentally and emotionally. While some are not always trying to be hurtful, they might think it's just a joke, but the victims of these are always hurt. Chelsea Sellers wrote the article Social Media Use May Be Linked to Teen Depression, published by Great Television Incorporated, said that smartphones, when they were first introduced, caused the suicide rate for girls to go up by 65% in Mississippi. This was published on the WOET News website, and it is also said that depressive symptoms rose by a third, or 33% in 5 years. Now, the ability to compare yourself directly to other people while on social media probably contributes to these statistics. If you post something and you say you only get 100 likes and somebody else gets 1,500 likes, you might get envious and start to feel insecure about yourself. This can lead to depression or an obsession with your outside image, and you might start to seek validation from others just for the sake of getting likes. Now I'd like to introduce my solutions. Social media can negatively contribute to daily life, but there are solutions. In the same Jason Byers article cited earlier, one school district shares their opinions on how to curb suicide. They do this by monitoring social media, holding interventions, and preventing attempts. One specific example was they provided help for a female student who had been sexually assaulted in December of 2017. This type of action can stop risky behavior and give help to those who really need it. And while it isn't always an option for every school district because of funding, it doesn't have to be just schools. It can be teens as well, just monitoring their time and the type of content that they see on social media. Simply by thinking after the fact, teams can determine if they're unnecessary or detrimental, or the type of content is unnecessary or detrimental. Sam Bomarito also provides his solutions in the article Argue Less and Talk More, published by Literacy Today. He shares his issue with knee-jerk reactions and spreading misinformation while online. He encourages readers to slow down and think thoughtfully about the type of messages that they're taking in and spreading online. And despite what teens might think, they spread news more regularly than adults because of the quick interactions they have on social media. These quick interactions can contribute to rumors that they might not know the full story about, and these are of course detrimental because it encourages cyberbullying and can make some people self-conscious if the rumors that are being spread about them are untrue or damaging to their character. So I'd like to say that making better decisions on social media can make it an addition and not feel like a necessity. It can be beneficial for those who don't see the pressure in having to get likes while on social media. And while alone social media is not dangerous, it can provide many dangerous behaviors. It can be beneficial for shy kids who are looking to be more outgoing and can provide educational and informational opportunities through the quick news that it spreads. It also has feeds for people's preference, so they see whatever they want to see and don't necessarily have to go on other websites. It can be great depending on what you choose to look at, but it can also be seen as a requirement. Some people stress far too much about what others people's opinion of them are and let small comments about them strike a nerve. The isolation, and it also isolates those who are not considered cool. Dragana Ostick wrote The Effects of Social Media Use on Psychological Well-Being, that was published by Frontier in Psychology. In this, she writes smartphones are pulling people apart and can lead to individuals ignoring others, which is obviously a big deal. Some who already have issues with social isolation or social interaction can feel like they're being isolated because they're pushed further aside in the favor of others. So today I've discussed the problems of overuse, shown how teen lives can be bettered, and hopefully persuaded you to be more mindful of what you do while you're online. And to finish off, I'd like to say that social media can be a great place for people to connect with one another, but it can also be very detrimental to people mentally and emotionally. So I'd like to ask, what will you choose to do while you're online?